Did you know Austin is seeing its biggest transformation that we've ever seen in the last decade, or maybe ever? Austin is growing at a rapid pace as we see about 2% increase year over year the last few years. Austin is one of the hottest relocation spots, and people are moving here on a daily basis. My name's Steph Bartone, your Austin Realtor. I am an original Austinite, and I've seen this city transform over the last couple decades. And stick around to the end because I think the very last one that I'm going to speak about is one of the biggest transformations that we're going to see in Austin that has to do with housing development. All right, now let's dive in. In my opinion, Austin was kind of a hidden gem for so many years. You know, we had big festivals like ACL, South by Southwest, then they put the Coda Stadium in, and now we've got Austin FC. But Austin has just become a huge hotspot for people that are traveling here and now moving here. I think the massive growth that we've seen is really like the past 10 years. We've seen a ton of people move to Austin as it's the 7th fastest growing city in the nation. There are tons of jobs here. The economy has been really good here. Even though the cost of living has gotten very expensive here, we are still seeing a good amount of people moving here. So back in 2020, we had about 960,000 people in the Austin area and about 2.1 million in the Austin metro area, which consists of the Round Rock, Georgetown area down into the San Marcos, New Braunfels area. So that being said, overall Texas sees about 395,000 people each year moving, and about 50,000 of those people moving to the Austin area. But with growth, there's tons of job opportunities, which is one of the reasons why people move here. There's so many large companies that are moving in the outskirts of Austin. If you look at it, Austin has added about 51,000 jobs, which is a 4% increase in the last 12 months ending in April. It's the 7th best performing among all 50 states. So I've got tons of clients that are moving here because of their job, and is tons of noise about, the gold mines of the Austin surrounding areas, like all the way down into Seguin and Lockhart and all the way up between Georgetown and like Lampasas area, that there's still tons of land in Texas. Lots of companies are finding land. We don't have state taxes here, which helps these large companies that are moving, as we know, from California to help them cut costs. But in a good sense, it's bringing jobs here to Austin. All right, number 2, new Austin developments, and we're talking about all kinds of developments. Almost every highway right now, minus Mopac, is under construction. You have 35 that's about to be under construction, the largest project that we've ever seen in probably history, or at least since the 50s. I'm pretty nervous about this project, as 35 is the main highway that runs north and south through Austin and downtown. What they're looking to do is caps and stitches, and I'll put a link below so you can kind of understand what that means. But pretty much what they're trying to do is build it in a sense like Dallas, to where they have a area above the highway where you can have parks and amenities and shops, and you have the traffic that goes underneath. What they're trying to do is there's multiple sections, and I'll show you a graph, but there's multiple sections of 35 where they're trying to connect. I think it'll give it a better downtown feel of like being able to, have festivals and have more food markets, and have like, Austin is known for like the really cool parks. Even though Austin is growing at a rapid pace, we are still seeing developments for outside activities. People move to Austin because of the outdoors. Yes, it is extremely hot here, but people love being outside, whether it's walking, biking, being in the water, and they are building Austin around that, which I think is great. 193 is under construction, 71 that's under construction. We have 290 out towards the Y, which goes out towards Dripping Springs and Bee Cave area. They are trying to keep up with the amount of people who move here. With that being said, when you're looking to move here, it's very important to understand these developments, because yes, with all this construction comes delays. If you're looking to commute into downtown, you might not want to be in a certain suburb area. So if there is a certain area that you need to be in, I can help you navigate which area might be best, knowing what type of developments are coming to that area or in between. Starting with downtown, There are 18 projects under construction, including condos, office buildings. We're seeing tons of mixed use coming to all over Austin to help with the amount of infrastructures that we can have in a more compacted area. There are 33 projects that are planned or proposed just in the downtown area. We're going to see a ton of development over in the downtown area, as we usually see about 40 cranes in the air. Yeah, tons of development in the downtown area. Another project is the Austin Airport. So as some of you know, whether you're flying in or out of Austin, they say that there's about 60,000 people on a daily basis that fly in and out of the Austin Bergstrom Airport. This airport was not designed for the 2 million plus people that are within 60 miles of the airport. So they are looking to expand this airport, but I think this is really going to help with the influx of people that we're seeing move to Austin. All right, number 3, we're going to talk about the housing market trends. So looking at this chart, we've got the median price. Now again, the Austin metro area, not just Austin, median price is just over $459,000, which is down 1% or less than 1% of last year. Closed sales is just over 2,900, which is down 12.8% from last year. We've done $1.76 billion in sales so far this year, which is down 13.4%. New listings is up 16% with just over 5,200 listings. Active listings is 1,200 listings, which is just about 37% over last year. And days on market, which very much varies from different parts of Austin and surrounding areas depending on the high demand or what inventory is in that area. 57 days, which is down 8 days from last year. Like I said, this varies. There's some areas that, like, I just had a client go under contract and then the home was only on the market for 13 days. We sold another one in 16 days. I've got another listing that's kind of in a unique area. That one's been on the market for a little over 30 days. So it really just depends. But the average we're seeing is probably that 30 to 45 day mark. In some areas, we're seeing up to 60 days. The biggest change, which is probably the largest we've seen in like 10 years, is how many months of inventory we have. There's 4.9 months of inventory, which is up 1.5 months of last year. Now, what does that mean? That means if nothing came on the market and nothing came off the market, we would have 4.9 months to sell everything that exists right now. A balanced market is 6 months. So anything under that is considered a seller's market, and anything above that is considered a buyer's market. So right now, in my opinion, yes, it's still a seller's market, but it's also a buyer's market. So I think it's pretty balanced already. It really depends on the area and what your seller or buyer needs. We're starting to see sellers help pay for closing costs, interest rate buy downs, coming off the sales price some, depending on what the buyer need is. Again, this is the highest amount of inventory that we've seen in a very, very long time. So things are sitting longer because there's so many homes on the market. 12,000 active listings, that's quite a bit. And that means buyers can be more picky. So there you have it. All right, so number 4, this one is quality of life improvements. What do I mean by that? Austin is a hot spot for outdoor activities. Some of the projects that are coming soon or proposed, I think are going to be pretty cool, and it's really going to help reconnect Austin. Like I spoke about 35, how they're trying to put the cap in stitches over 35 to be able to develop more parks and to connect the east and west side. I think that's going to be a really cool project. They have a South Austin Trail behind the Manchac Entertainment District with where all the bars are. They're going to connect all the neighborhoods and apartment complex coming soon to the area, plus all the new restaurants and bars. They also are building a public transit system that Capital Metro is working on that's supposed to kind of connect the east side. It's going to go all the way from Mueller down into the Goodnight Ranch Easton Park area, which I think is really cool. I'm not gonna lie, when they first put the rail system in, it was the first rail that we ever saw. It was super packed, hard to get on. It goes from the North Austin area down into downtown, and it's been just kind of messy because it's the only rail that we have here. But they're trying to create more stops, faster rails, to hopefully help with the congestion that we've seen on these rails. Another cool thing that's coming that I hope that comes is called the Great Springs Project. That is where they are going to connect the Edwards Aquifer, which is what feeds the Barton Springs, down into San Antonio. It's a 100-mile long trail that's going to be super walkable and bike friendly, and it's going to help us save and preserve all the aquifers between here and San Antonio. We have the Edwards Aquifer, we have with Barton Springs, we've got the Comal River, we've got the San Marcos Springs, and then we have the San Antonio Springs. So with that project, it is looking to help save the aquifers, which is one of the big reasons why people love Austin. Barton Springs is by far one of the biggest hotspots and things to do when coming to Austin, especially when it's 110 degrees here. All right, the one that you guys have all been waiting for, number 5, the lot size requirement within the city of Austin. Now, as affordability has become an issue, as the housing demand has become an issue, they are trying to find unique ways to build more homes, condos, townhomes, single family homes, more on a smaller scale in a tighter space to make it more affordable for the people that are looking to move into the city. Over 50% of people that work in Austin actually live on the outskirts of Austin because of the affordability. And a lot of them want to live in the city. The lot size requirement used to be 5,750 square feet, and now it is 1,800 square feet. That is a huge change, which means they can put more single family homes in one space of land. These are huge changes. So drop it in the comments. Let me know what you think. I know not everybody loves this, and it's a big change that has come to Austin. They did this in Houston a while back, where it used to be 5,000 square feet, and it went down to 1,400 square feet. Austin is obviously not as big as Houston, but it is one of the fastest growing cities, and they're trying to figure out the most affordable way to bring people to Austin and be able to live in the city of Austin, or at least have the option to. We're going to see some big changes coming to Austin. If you're looking to relocate, whether you already live here in Austin, you live in Texas, or you live somewhere in the US, feel free to reach out to me. There's a link below in the description. We can set up a free call. Whether you're looking to move here now or a year from now, I'm happy to help set up a plan for you. I can't wait to see the changes. I think we've got some pretty cool things coming. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you on the next.